This film was made to show the truth about this heroic and intelligent people with a remarkable past, and is specifically targeted to all countries who have been insulted and offended Romania. The data is based on historical facts, as the testimony shows. May not all important events has been shown here, but I try to extract the essence. Let's discover the real Romania. A beautiful country, located in southeast of Europe, opens to the Black Sea, bordered by the Danubian River, high mountains, crosses the country called Carpathian's Chain. The highest mountain in Romania is called Moldoveanu. It measures 2.544 meters. Romania has 4 seasons. Hot summers, cold winters, sometime with a high level of snows, beautiful springs and lovely autumns. Could make a heaven for tourism. Let's take a quick look in history of this heroic country. The name Romania comes from Romanian, a word derived from the Latin Romanist descendants of the Romans, Roman Empire. Long time ago, Romania, named Asia at the beginning of her history, was assaulted by the Roman Empire, Ottoman Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire and Russian Empire. In spite of the waves of invaders, Romania proved an extraordinary strength of preservation of national identity, and she protected his territory with much sacrifice. Vlad III, Prince of Wallachia, was a member of the House of Draculesti, also known by his patronymic name, Dracula. He was a fearless and terrifying leader who applied strategies to protect his country against Turkish invasion, who has tried many times to take the land, and they never did. After a Second World War, a pact made by England and Russia, Romania was thrown in communism for 45 years of darkness and constraints. However, the economic effort required by Romania's participation in the anti-fascist war was particularly placing it in 4th place in the hierarchy of countries that contributed to the defeat of Nazi Germany. She still did not receive the status of a co-belligerent. The blood sacrifice of Romanian army at the Second World War was 170,000 people. Romania's contribution was estimated at $1 billion in the currency of 1983. Romania was the only Eastern Bloc country that has gone through a violent revolution, and the communist leaders, Ceausescu family, were executed at revolution in December 1989. Romania paid with much blood her freedom and a desire to be a democratic state. It seems to be political interest to stop Romania from her way to economic progress, and some country from Europe try to deny the truth, or to show a false image about this heroic people who won so hard her freedom and any centimeter from her territory in all entire her history. Before the First World War, Romanian treasury contained a huge value, money, art items, and more than 93 tons of gold were sent to Moscow to be protected against invasion of the German army. After the Great October Revolution in Russia in 1917, powered by the communist leader Lenin, he seized the treasure and refused to return. efforts of all the governments that succeeded the Romanian leadership to take back the treasure were unsuccessful. Much later, Russia returned just a small amount from this treasure, more than 93 tons of gold never back in country. 93 tons of gold could greatly help this country in her process of reform. But this is not only that Russia has stolen from Romania. A pact of non-aggression, signed between Germany and Russia, known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, had a secret additional file, where Russia has expressed the interest about the land between Dnestr and Prut. On June 28, 1940, Romania had to give Bessarabia, south of Bukovina and Herta region, under Soviet pressure. The atrocities that has been made by the Soviet Red Army are hard to be described. The population was abused and slaughtered, lacking any trace of humanity. Today, that land is called Republic of Moldova. After 7 decades, they still feel and think as a Romanian heart, and they wish the reunion with the old country. But all unfairness was not stopped here. After Great Romania lost Bessarabia and Southwest Transylvania, the King of Romania Mihai I, descendant from Great Britain crown, Queen Victoria's grand-nephew, and cousin with Elizabeth II, tried to save whatever remained from the big country. Soviet Russia threats with a new invasion, and King Mihai I asked help to the Great Britain, but she turned him her back. In November 1946, the communist bloc helped by the Union Russian has rigged the national election, and they won in 1947. Helpless, the King Mihai was forced to abdicate, and Romania became Republica Popular led by the Communist Party. Today the King Mihai I is the Marshal of Romania. In spite of this history, Romania has found resources to give her contribution to the world progress. In medicine, research, arts, inventions, science, electronics, airplanes construction, sport and other.